Let's talk to our Power Lunch Market insiders. Tom Karsten is president and CIO of Karsten Financial, and Brian Battle is vice president with Performance Trust Capital Partners. Brian, I'm going to start with you. One of the issues we wanted to talk about was headline risk. You know, you've had the Greece crisis, you have the possible economic disaster in the Gulf Coast, you have the terror incident in New York City over the weekend, and you have the Goldman saga. And yet we're up 130 points on the Dow Jones Industrial Average. Is there headline risk to this market or not?
Absolutely. You can't, unequivocally, you can't say that there isn't any headline risk. It's a disaster in the Gulf, especially if that oil gets in the Gulf Stream. That'll slow down GDP in the Gulf. The Eurozone problem hasn't been solved. They've got a plan, then everyone has to vote for it, and then they have to actually implement it. We're a long way from Greece or Portugal or Spain being solved. By the way, Portugal, Spain, and Greece all have to kick in a couple $1 billion to save Greece. I don't know where they're going to get the money from.
That's a good
point. Here in the States, right, here in the States, we do have some uncertainty. You know, we've had good run in financials. It's easier to make money on Wall Street with so much slope in the Treasury curve. And the banks have been doing well, but we have financial regulatory reform. That's a risk that you didn't mention, and that they could put a damper on how banks and how Wall Street can make money. So that's going to put some pressure on the leaders in the index.
Brian, I'd like you to come back at Sue's question and take it head on here. If there is so much headline risk, and you say we haven't solved Greece, we've still got oil spilling into the Gulf, it's a problem there. It may move into the Gulf Stream, and you said that could hurt GDP. Why then is the market up 100 points today? Are investors foolish or what?
Well, every market has a short-term and a long-term horizon. You know, in the short term, things here look better than anywhere else. China announced that they need to damp growth down. They're fearing their bubble there. Europe is going to reduce. They have austerity plans in Europe, so that's going to make money come here in the short term. That's a good trade for a short term. Longer term, as an investor, not a trader, you're going to have to be making a different measurement. All the sovereign debt that has been created here in the States is replacing private capital, private investment. Is that sustainable long term? What we need to see is growth domestically and growth from the private sector, not government spending being spread around. And we saw that today in the construction numbers. A lot of the construction was higher, but most of it was municipal government building, and that was public sector growth, not private sector growth.
Sorry, Brian, I don't mean to interrupt you, but we're running short on time because of